Okay, hello everybody. Additional lecture lang ito for soil profile and horizon. So, paulit-ulit nating ine-emphasize sa bawat lecture natin that soil is not just the surface layer na kung saan dumadaan tayo dito or tinatamnan natin ng crops. Again, soil is a dynamic living system shaped over thousands of years. Now, the soil profile, again, it serves as a biographical record ng lupa na kung saan dito natin nakikita kung paano ba na-form, na-develop, and kung paano ito nag interact with its environment. Okay? So, in pedology, pag sinabi nating pedology, it is the study of soil in its natural environment. So, yung soil profile daw, it is the core unit of analysis, just as a cross-section of rock layer is for geologists, no? Pinag-compare natin. For agribusiness students, understanding the soil profile is essential dahil it connects science to application. Now, from choosing crops na suitable sa specific soil types to determining irrigation needs, drainage potential, and even fertilizer requirements. Now, the profile shows kung paano ba nabubuo yung upper fertile layers ng lupa and ano ba yung relationship nito sa deeper subsoil, which is the B horizon, and even the parent material. Okay? So, nakikita nyo rin dito or marireveal din dito kung ano yung influence niya hindi lamang sa crop yield but also sa soil management practices and long-term land productivity. Ang hirap palang mag-record. Okay. So, sa soil profile, of course, na-observe nyo na to sa ating laboratory activity, ano? It consists of a vertical succession, di ba? Natanong ko sa inyo, vertical naman yung kanyang layers, bakit kaya siya tinawag na horizon? Tama? So again, it consists of a vertical succession of soil layers called horizon na may magkakaibang kulay, texture, structure, and composition. And each horizon, forms under the influence of climate, biological activity, parent material, and time. So collectively shaping the soil's properties. Now, the structure of a soil profile, ini-indicate nito kung paano ba na-add, paano nawala, na-translocate, or even na-transform yung minerals over centuries. Kaya sabi natin, di ba, it takes thousands of years bago mabuo yung topsoil. Kaya kung sisirain natin yung lupa natin, kung palagi natin itong i-cultivate na hindi naman kailangan, isipin na lang natin, thousands of years bago lang mabuo yung topsoil. And topsoil pa lang yun, hindi yun kabuuan ng lupa. Okay? According to the Soil Science Society of America, the soil profile's structure is not it's not merely descriptive. It determines how a soil function. For instance, or for example, a well-developed profile with distinct horizon, ang ibig sabihin nun ay meron itong stable conditions and long-term soil maturity. Kapag ang na-observe nyo naman ay shallow or weakly developed profile, maaring ang sinasuggest nito ay young soil pa or siguro nagkaroon ng erosion doon sa area. Kapag naman ang na-observe ninyo sa isang soil profile ay meron itong thick, dark topsoil layer, usually it indicates high organic matter and fertility. Okay, again, ano na namang importance nito? Bakit nyo na naman kailangang pag-aralan and memorize itong iba't ibang layer ng lupa? Okay? So ito yung sagot. Ako rin yung sasagot. Understanding this structure allows you, agribusiness students or even agriculture students or professionals to interpret land capability, whether a soil can support crops, withstand tillage, or absorb rainfall efficiently. Okay? Aside from that, it also suggests or it also guides sustainable land use planning, ensuring that agricultural practices maintain rather than sinisira natin or dinedegrade natin yung natural profile ng lupa. Okay, again, hindi ko na i-define kung ano yung soil profile kasi na-define naman na natin yan. Okay, now, ang i-discuss ko na lang ay ano ba yung importance nito sa pedology. Again, ang pedology ay it is the study of soil profiles na nare-reveal dito kung paano ba na-form ang lupa or yung tinatawag nating pedogenesis and paano ba ito nag-evolve under environmental influences. So again, each horizon, ayan, nakikita nyo dyan, no? Each horizon provides evidence of specific soil forming processes, katulad na lang nung weathering na na-discuss natin before, and leaching or even biological mixing na nangyayari over long periods. Now, ang mga pedologists, ginagamit itong mga profiles to classify soils scientifically through the USDA soil taxonomy system. Ginugrupo nila yung mga lupa into orders. Ayan, ito yung mga memorize ninyo. Katulad na lang ng entisols, alphisols, ultisols, and etc. Based on horizon development and properties. Yan yung ginawa ninyo sa soil, sa laboratory activity ninyo. For agribusiness students like you, itong mga pedological understanding translates directly into land use decision. For example, sa soil fertility evaluation, no? Kapag malalim and merong darker horizon yung profile, it suggests higher fertility. Sa engineering suitability naman, yung texture and consistency ng lupa, it indicates if a soil can support structures or irrigation system. Pagdating naman sa environmental protection, okay, kapag na-recognize ninyo na compacted yung lupa or yung subsoil, no, matutulungan kayo nito to prevent erosion and runoff. Okay, so ibig sabihin, ang pedology, it connects the theoretical study of soil genesis with practical goals of agricultural productivity and environmental sustainability. Okay, next, yan ang walang kamatayang CLORT. Okay, the acronym CLORT, na-introduce nito ng father of soil science na si Vasily Dokachev, pero in-enhance nito ni Hans Jenny. Isa siyang soil scientist, okay? Sinamarize niya yung 5 key factors controlling soil formation. So, na-add na dito yung human activities. So, before kasi walang human activities, ano? So, dito, kabilang na yung climate, organism, relief or topography, parent material, and time. So, kung mapapansin niyo kapag sinearch niyo yung factors of soil formation, meron siyang dot, doon sa formula. Yung dot na yon, ang ibig sabihin nun is human activities. Okay, so si climate, from our previous discussion, yung temperature and rainfall, dinedetermine nito yung rate ng weathering, organic matter composition, and leaching. Yung warm, wet climates, nakakapag-produce ito ng malalim and leach soils. Kapag cold or dry naman yung climate, shallow and less developed yung soil profile. Sa organisms naman, kabilang dyan yung plants, animals, and microorganisms. At the same time, the organic matter na naghahalo-halo. Okay? And nakaka-impluwensya ito, of course, sa nutrient cycling. For example, yung earthworms, ayan, na-enhance nito yung aeration sa lupa, samantalang yung plant roots naman, nagkikreate ng channels for water infiltration. Okay, summary na lang to, no, kasi na-discuss naman na natin ito sa previous lecture natin. So, ang relief or topography naman, ito yung slope and landscape position na nakakaapekto sa erosion, drainage, and depth. So, kapag steep, okay, natatandaan nyo yun, kapag steep yung slope, madalas meron itong thin and eroded soils. Kapag flat naman, yung lupa, flat lowlands naman, nag-accumulate dito yung rich, deep deposits. Okay? Parent material, this is the underlying geological material. For example, the volcanic ash, the limestone, granite, and nagdidictate ito ng soil's mineral composition. The same time, yung pH or yung acidity and alkalinity ng lupa, at the same time, nutrient availability. Now, yung time naman, of course, alam naman na natin, no? Ang development ng lupa ay slow process and over centuries or thousands of years, distinct horizon form as weathering, leaching, and organic buildup continue. Mhm. So, sabi nga natin before, understanding the chlor. So, itong nakikita natin sa ating screen, it allows you to explain bakit ba magkakaiba yung lupa sa iba't ibang regions. And from there, dito natin i-connecta. Dito tayo bubuo. Dito tayo magde-decide ng iba't ibang management practices na appropriate. For example, yung crop selection, fertilization, irrigation, of course, according to the site-specific soil forming factors. Magkakaiba yung lupa, magkakaiba din yung iba't ibang management. So, hindi pwede yung halimbawa, napanood nyo sa YouTube, ay, ganito pala, binubungkal itong lupa na to. Hindi ibig sabihin na applicable doon sa lugar nila ay pwede nyo na rin gawin yon. Kasi again, magkakaiba po ang parent material ng lupa, magkakaiba yung development nila. Kaya ibig sabihin, magkakaiba din yung management na suitable sa bawat lupa or sa bawat regions. Okay, hopefully nakakasunod kayo. Kung di nyo nasundan, stop nyo lang, balik-balikan nyo lang. Hindi naman ako mapapagod since recorded naman to. Okay, may tinatawag tayong master horizons. Okay, the horizon O and A horizon, ito yung topmost portion ng soil profile and napaka-importante nito sa plant growth dahil dito nai-store yung nutrients. Okay, it also supports roots and dito nangyayari yung biological activity. Okay, sa O horizon, ito yung tinatawag nating organic layer. So, again, it is found mainly in forested soil. So, itong horizon na to, it consists of leaf litter, decomposing plant residues, twigs, and humus. Rich din ito sa carbon compounds na itong carbon na to, ito yung kumbaga nagbibigay ng energy or ito yung nag-fuel sa microbial life. Now, according to USDA, dinescribe nila ito as non-mineral. Ano bang ibig sabihin ng non-mineral? Ang ibig sabihin nun, it contains very little rock or mineral material. And this layer regulates soil temperature, the same time nako-conserve niya yung moisture, and it also acts as a reservoir for slow nutrient release. Okay, kay A horizon naman, hopefully nare-review nyo, no? It is the most fertile and agriculturally valuable layer. Sabi nga natin, dito ginagawa ng mga tao or ng mga farmers yung agricultural activities. It contains a mixture of mineral particles, katulad na lang ng sand, silt, and clay. Okay, natatandaan nyo pa ba yun? And decomposed organic matter or yung humus. Pag sinabi nating humus, ano nga ulit yon? Ito yung stable form ng organic matter. So yung dark color, nagre-resulta to from humification. Ito yung process by which organic matter transform into stable compounds. So itong A horizon, ang pinagkaiba naman nito sa O, si A kasi, it supports intense root activity. Okay, mapapansin nyo naman dito sa ating, kita nyo ba itong illustration natin, again, it supports intense root activity, microbial growth, and nutrient exchange. So, according to Brady and Whale, so sila yung author ng, if I'm not mistaken, author ng Principles of Soil Science. And yun yung pinaka-book namin as soils major. Ito yung pinaka-book namin sa soil science and sila yung author, si Brady and Whale, ano. Itong layer na to, dinadetermine nito yung soil's productivity potential. So, by maintaining the health of this horizon, the O and A horizon, through organic matter management, minimal tillage. Again, the keyword here is minimal tillage. Hindi kailangan palaging bungkal ng bungkal. And erosion control is critical for sustainable agribusiness operation and even agricultural operations. Next, the middle layers, the E and B horizon. Now, beneath the topsoil, okay, meron tayong tinatawag na E and B horizon, which mark zones of vertical material movement dahil sa water flow. Now, pag sinabi nating E horizon, okay, nafo-form ito kapag yung percolating rainwater ay nalileach niya yung clay, iron, aluminum, and organic matter. Okay? Itong process na to, yung pag-leach, okay, ng clay, iron, aluminum, and organic matter ay tinatawag na eluvation. Again, eluvation. Eluvation. Okay? Ang ibig sabihin kasi nun, exit. Okay? Exit of materials. So, yung mga natitira, no? Kung mapapansin niyo, 'di ba, na-observe natin, sa 3-2 kasi na-observe nila yung horizon E. So, ang description ng horizon E, 'di ba, napansin niyo naman, pale and even sandy. So, ibig sabihin nun, mababa yung nutrient niya. So, itong layer na to, less fertile siya and dominated siya ng quartz and silica. So, very common ito sa humid forest soils and nag-i-indicate to ng strong leaching and drainage. Okay? Pagdating naman kay B horizon, of course, alam na alam nyo yan, no? Si B horizon, tinatawag din itong subsoil horizon. Now, itong layer na to, ito naman yung tumatanggap ng materials na nag-leach from E horizon and A horizon through elevation. Eluvation. So, ang ibig sabihin naman ng elevation ay input of materials. So, si elevation, exit of materials. Si elevation ay input of materials. So, huwag kayong malilito dun, ha? So, as a result, it contains accumulated clay. Okay. Aside from that, iron oxides, carbonates, or organic compounds. So usually, di ba, napansin nyo naman, through our laboratory activity, brown, red, or yellow yung color doon. Depende yan sa type ng oxides na present doon. So although less biologically active ang subsoil or ang B horizon, importante pa rin siya for water storage, ang tawag doon, yung ugat sa English, root anchorage, and nutrient retention. And again, based sa USDA soil taxonomy, ang B horizon it serves as the heart of the soil's chemical activity. Okay? So, by recognizing this horizon, the E and B horizon, nakakatulong ito sa inyo or sa atin, of course, to determine drainage capacity, rooting depth, and fertilizer mobility. So, ito yung mga key factors for field productivity. Next, the foundation. Okay? Siyempre, bakit nga ba ito tinawag na foundation, itong C&R horizon? Dito nagmumula ang alin? Dito nagmumula ang tao. Charot. Dito nagmumula ang soil formation and development. Ayan. Ang C&R horizon, ito yung nagpo-provide ng parent material and geological framework. Okay? Si C horizon, Itong layer na to, it consists of partially weathered. Sorry, natatawa ako kasi naalala ko nung activity natin, tinanong ko kung may nakita kayong sea horizon. Meron daw. Nasaan yung sea horizon? Nasa taas, ma'am. Sige. Saan ka nakakita ng sea horizon na nasa taas? It consists of partially weathered rock fragments or yung tinatawag nating unconsolidated sediments, katulad na lang ng glacial till or yung river deposits. So yung biological activity dito sa layer na to ay minimal lang, pero it supplies minerals na slowly nagwe-weather into the upper horizons. So yung texture ng horizon sea and composition nito, ito yung nakaka-impluwensya sa drainage and fertility potential ng lupa. Okay? Now, kay our horizon naman, or yung tinatawag nating bedrock, it is composed of consolidated, unweathered rock. Katulad na lang ng, ano na yun? Sorry na gano'n ako. Katulad na lang ng basalt, limestone, or yung shale. So, upon which the entire soil profile rests. Okay? So, yung nature ng rock, it determines the chemical composition ng lupa, katulad na lang ng pH. Okay? And the drainage behavior of the overlying soil. So, for example, yung 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 lupa na derived sa limestone, it tends to be alkaline. Okay? Samantalang yung lupa na nag-derive sa granite, acidic yon. Okay? So, ibig sabihin, itong C&R horizon, very crucial ito pag magpaplano ka ng kung gaano ba kalalim yung tillage mo, yung irrigation design mo, and even uh, nakakatulong din ito and very crucial din ito sa pag-construct ng farm infrastructure. So, why? Kasi itong layer na to, it affects how water moves, kung paano nagmo-move yung water and even yung root penetration sa lupa. Okay? Imagine, lupa pa lang itong pinag-uusapan natin. Napakarami ng explanation. Ano? Okay, ito naman yung summary lang to, ano? Ito yung characteristics overview ng ating mga master horizon, the O, E, A, B, C, and R. So itong mga characteristics na to, nakakatulong ito sa field identification and soil classification as defined sa USDA, ano? And recognizing these features, okay, nakakatulong ito sa pag-assess ng soil fertility, moisture behavior, and erosion risk, na kung saan itong mga information na to ay napaka-importante sa tinatawag nating sustainable agriculture and sustainable farming. Okay, next, hindi pa pala natatapos yung soil horizon. Meron pa tayong tinatawag na transitional horizons. Ano? Itong mga transitional horizon, ito yung AB, EB, BC, and etc. So, ito yung nagre-represent ng gradual transition between main horizon. And I believe na-observe natin to sa ating laboratory activity, tama? Minarkahan nyo yun, di ba? Nagkaroon tayo ng delineation process. Minarkahan nyo yun, yung bawat transition. So, yung AB horizon, mostly A characteristics. But nag-uumpisa na siya na magpakita ng B horizon structure. Di ba? Madali lang tandaan. Okay, sa EB horizon naman, leaching typical of E horizon, but slightly nagkakaroon na din ng accumulation from B horizon. Kay BC horizon naman, Bethel Charis. Charot lang. Kay B horizon, dominantly B properties yung nandito, but okay, containing unweathered fragments from the sea layer. So itong horizons na to, natatawa tuloy ako sa sarili kong joke. Naisip ko lang yun kanina. So itong mga horizons na to, it indicates the continuity in soil forming processes rather than biglaan na lang na nagkaroon ng change, 'di ba? Walang ganun, biglang nagbago, bigla siyang nagbago. Ibig sabihin, may nangyari, may transition diyan, ano, na na-o-observe nyo naman. And according to USDA, ano, yung transitional horizon, madalas, it mark critical zones for root development and moisture retention. Na kung saan, itong zone na to, ano, it influences the irrigation and fertilizer strategies in crop management. Okay? Pati pala yung, ngayon nyo nalaman, ano, pati pala yung transition ng horizon, may effect pa rin sa fertilizer strategies and crop management. Okay, now, paano ba natin na-identify yung iba't ibang layer ng lupa? Ayan, yung sa number one, um, yan yung ginawa nyo, ano, yung nagbungkal kayo, naghukay kayo ng lupa. Ayan. So, ang tawag dyan ay soil pit. Okay? So, at the same time, meron din tayong auger sa ano natin, sa laboratory natin. Pero hindi pa kasi tayo ulit nakakapag-laboratory dahil nga sa mga ano, typhoons. So, meron din tayong ginagamit na Munsell color chart. Ayan yung Munsell color chart, which is madidiscuss natin later sa physical properties ng lupa. Okay? So, yung dito sa Munsell color chart kasi, meron tayong tinatawag na ang mga key indicator dito ay color, texture, and structure. Ano? So, balik tayo dito sa ating field identification. So, aside from soil pit, aside from soil auger, meron din tayong tinatawag na boundary distinctness. So, dito, ino-observe natin and dinidescribe natin how abruptly one horizon changes to another. So, ang indicator, ito yung indicator ng soil development rate. So, itong mga nakikita natin na field technique, no? Kinuha ko yan no, sa USDA. It is essential for soil survey, for land evaluation, and agribusiness project planning. Okay? So, ito naman yung transition natin for soil physical properties, which is, i-discuss natin sa susunod na recorded lecture natin. Paano to stop?